Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie.
And this is the $250 Beginner Bourbon Collection. Jason C. from the Mash and Drum released a video a couple of weeks ago where he put together the ultimate $400 beginner bourbon collection list.
Yeah, and we love Jason C. We love the Mash and Drum, and it was a really great list.
We thought it was a great list, and so did several of our subscribers and Patreons who reached out to us and said, as beginners in this new hobby, maybe we don't have $400 to start a bourbon collection. Could you guys do a $250 list? So we reached out to Jason C. to get his blessing, and because he's a great guy,
yeah,
he gave it to us almost immediately because that's who he is. And so we will link to his video in our description. We will also put up a card at the end linking to his video. So if you want to see his, if you want to spend a little more coin and get a lot more history, his storytelling is far better than ours.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't told the story yet, and we're telling you it's better.
Right, yeah, he's crazy knowledgeable. So we're not going to really keep up with him in that regard of storytelling or history or anything like that, but we will tell you a little bit about the whiskeys that we're choosing and why.
Keep in mind that all the prices that we discussed today are priced here in Oregon. Right.
Oregon is a price-controlled state, so all of these are going to be 750 milliliter bottles. We tried to showcase bottles that are readily available. They likely are not all readily available in all places, so we will offer a few backup bottles, alternate bottles here and there.
Also, we tried to choose bottles from all different distilleries.
Yeah, exactly, because if you're a beginner, you're starting a collection, you want to try everything, get all those experiences, see what your palate prefers, and hopefully we'll help you get to that point today.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to like.
That's right. Let's start with a low-proof budget bottle that's a great daily sipper.
My gateway bourbon, Four Roses Yellow Label.
We buy this one here in Oregon for $25. It's 80 proof. It is floral, it is fruity, it is spicy, flavorful, and well-balanced with a lingering finish. It's a great introductory bottle.
Novice bourbon drinkers will enjoy its drinkability and its flavors.
If you're a beginner bourbon drinker, chances are you have friends who are beginner bourbon drinkers as well. Four Roses Yellow Label is a great bottle to share. If you can't find Four Roses, there are several 80 proof budget alternatives.
Yeah, like Old Granddad and McKenna.
Or Benchmark Number 8 or Ancient Age from Buffalo Trace. There are plenty of them out there that are budget priced and readily available, so find the one that works for you, but we really like Four Roses Yellow Label.
So Four Roses Yellow Label, true bourbon flavor, sure to be a crowd pleaser.
Absolutely, and let's stay in that same lane. Let's bump it up to 90 proof. Let's only kick it up $1. For 26 bucks, we're talking about Buffalo Trace Bourbon.
This is a bottle that's been on our shelf forever.
And compared to that first bottle, this is a bump up in proof, in flavor, and in mouthfeel.
It definitely drinks a little warmer, but it brings a lot of flavor to the party.
Absolutely. Brown sugar, vanilla, toffee, caramel, honey, citrus. This is a complex bourbon with really nice drinkability. Like you said, it was one of our gateway bourbons, and it's been on our shelf for a long time.
So we know that Buffalo Trace can be hard to find in some states.
We hear about it all the time. And so we're going to give you a couple of alternatives for this one as well. This is a small batch bourbon, and there are plenty of good ones out there at a decent price. Things like Elijah Craig small batch, 1792 small batch, and even Woodford Reserve, all sort of in that same class, reasonably priced around that 20 to 30 price range as well. We think that they're all solid whiskeys, but we love Buffalo Trace, we love this particular bourbon, and we think it deserves a spot on your shelf.
So I'm really excited about this next pick. It's fairly new to us. I really like it, and I think it should be on your shelf.
Yeah, I think it should be on everybody's shelf, quite honestly. This is Old Granddad Bonded. And what bonded indicates is that this product is bottled in bond. That is an old government distinction that's still in play today. Used to be a much bigger deal. So bottled in bond is a designation indicating that this spirit has been aged at least 4 years in federally bonded, government monitored warehouses. It means the spirit has been bottled at exactly 100 proof, and it means that this spirit is the product of a single distiller in a single distillery in a single distillation season. Bottled and bond bourbons range from bottom shelf budget whiskeys all the way up to top shelf ultra aged rarities. We're choosing this Jim Beam product because we love the flavor and the value. Cinnamon, nuttiness, dark fruit, vanilla, baking spices, and a rich mouthfeel. This one really gives you a unique experience.
Now I kind of want to drink it right now.
I kind of do too. The more I talk about it, the more I want it.
There's a ton of budget Bottled & Bond products on the market, and we really like a lot of them.
Absolutely. Early Times Bottled & Bond is amazing. Can be a little hard to find. JTS Brown and Evan Williams Bottled & Bond are from Heaven Hill, and those are great budget products. But this old Granddad Bonded is something special, we think, and it deserves a spot on your shelf.
And if Early Times was available, it might have made the list.
Yeah, we love Early Times, but it's just not readily available out there for most of you. So Old Granddad Bonded gets the nod here.
Yeah. Oh, sweet caramel. Maker's 46 is up next.
This bottle comes straight to us from Jason's list. We had to include a wheated bourbon on this list just to introduce some completely different flavors to your collection. Maker's Mark Distillery uses wheat as their secondary ingredient in their bourbon mash bill instead of rye. Many bourbon drinkers have discovered that this creates a sweeter, more sippable whiskey, which generally appeals to novice drinkers. Also unique is that the Maker's 46 in particular is aged for an additional period of time on 10 heavily seared French oak staves, which adds some delicious character to this whiskey.
Notes of caramel, vanilla, toasted oak, toffee, and leather create a wonderful complexity.
At $35, we have definitely exited the budget bourbon category, but this 94 proof crowd pleaser deserves a place on the shelf. For those of you scoring at home, you'll notice that we just broke through the $100 barrier.
Not too bad, since we already have 4 bottles in your collection.
But you're still missing some things. Every collection should have a well-aged, high-character whiskey that shows what time in the barrel can do. As much as we love Eagle Rare, we think that this bottle is just more readily available out there, and that's why this one makes the list. It's made by Wild Turkey. This is Russell's Reserve 10-year bourbon.
We also can't make a list without Wild Turkey in it.
Absolutely. At $35, we think that this is a great value. Vanilla, caramel, graham crackers, leather, oak, brown sugar, tobacco, and even marshmallows. And did I mention the rich vanilla?
At 90 proof, you can still expect huge flavors.
So true. This bottle absolutely proves that low proof does not equal low flavor. This is such a satisfying, and I'm pointing at it, it's within our glasses right now, such a satisfying whiskey. Seriously.
Cheers.
Cheers. I didn't even get to the palate. It smelled so good I got distracted. It's that good. Try this whiskey.
Oh, were you nosing the glass? I just went right in.
I can't help myself.
All right, this next bottle needs no introduction, but we'll introduce it.
From the time that we first got our hands on this bottle back in 2012, it has been one of the flagship bottles in our collection, prized for its richness, its sweetness, and its ability to appeal to anybody who sips it. It's Woodford Reserve Double Oaked Bourbon.
So we are stepping way up here in price. This one comes in around $50.
Exactly, but like Maker's 46, this whiskey requires additional time and labor to prepare it for the bottle. Just like the name indicates, this whiskey goes into a second charred oak barrel for nearly a year before it's bottled at 90.4 proof.
Vanilla, oak, marshmallows, maple syrup, caramel, but mostly chocolate. If you got a sweet tooth, like me, this bottle has something for you.
For several years when we had guests over, this was the bottle that we brought out.
If you can't find this one on the shelf, Old Forester 1910, which you know is probably my all-time favorite,
Probably.
goes through a similar process.
Even though we both really like that 1910, we respect that Woodford Double Oaked is kind of the OG in this category, and as such, it deserves this place on your list.
For sure. So now that you mentioned Old Forester, we better get some on the list.
We knew Julie's favorite distillery was going to show up here sooner or later, and just like in Jason C's list, Old Forester 1920 is our choice for a high-proof, top-shelf bourbon for your collection.
We think you're ready for something special, and at $60, this is it.
115 proof, so it's no joke, but it sips easy and will help you prepare your palate for other high-proof whiskeys.
Brown sugar, chocolate, and bananas on the nose.
Rich oak, caramel, burnt sugar on the palate.
A rich balanced finish that lasts and lasts.
This is one of our all-time favorite whiskeys, and it's one that honestly deserves to be in every bourbon collection, not just beginner bourbon collections.
There are some other beautiful bottles out there at the $60 price point.
Absolutely. Belmead Reserve 108.3 is fantastic. Russell's Reserve makes a single barrel product that's worth looking out for. But in our opinion, this is the very best in class at that $60 price point.
And no collection's complete unless Old Forester's on the shelf.
Absolutely.
So there you have it. This collection came in at $254, $4 over our $250 price point.
Not close, guys.
Just skip that morning coffee and you're good to go.
Yeah, your $4 morning coffee. So if you want to start an eclectic collection with varied flavors that will provide unique experiences that you can share with others, we think this list will get you off to a great start.
So what did we forget? What did we get dead wrong? Leave it in the comments.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, ring the bell so you never miss a notification from us. Join us on Patreon for exclusive live streams and bonus content. Check us out on Instagram at The Bourbon Van.
And go watch Jason's $400 collection video next.
And from wherever we are,
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mmm.